Now we're going to make our individual coconut cream pies. We all love pies, especially summer cream pies, but sometimes a full-sized pie is just too big. So we'll right-size those pies for you today with individual options. First, I'm going to make the graham crust. Here we're going to use graham crumbs and granulated sugar. These two need to be mixed together first. This can be done on a mixer or by hand, depending on how much you're making. I'm making a small amount today because I'm just showing you a few pies. But when I make a large amount, I often do this on a mixer. Next is going to be my melted unsalted butter. This also goes in all at once. Now I can make this graham base days before I'm ready to use it. The big thing to remember is that we're going to use unsalted butter so it doesn't get too salty. And then the last thing that's really important is the sugar. Some folks don't use that sugar in their graham crust. They'll just use the butter and the graham crumbs. And while that's okay, the sugar plays an important role. It helps your crust get and stay crisp. So we want a crisp graham crust for our coconut cream pie. So I make sure to add a little bit of sugar in there so that I stay nice and crispy sweet. These are 5-inch individual pie tins. I'm using, this is a 1/4 cup scoop. And I'm gonna put a 1/4 cup of my prepared graham crust into each pie tin. Once those are in, we're very gently going to bring our crust up the sides and across the bottom. I'm going to use my measuring cup here. And after I've done that, I'm going to use the bottom of it. This is why these measuring cups are so great. We're just gonna clean up these tops a little bit. And so you can use an offset spatula just to kind of clean up the top. Doesn't have to be super perfect, but it does help it look a little dressed up for dinner. So these are my crusts that are out of the oven and cool. So you can see my graham crusts have baked for anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes at 350 degrees, just depending on how your oven acts. We're looking for a nice, crispy, golden brown crust. I'm going to fill them with my Dawn coconut cream pie filling. They'll get topped with my vanilla velvet top. And finally, they'll get a little sprinkle of my Bakery Essentials toasted coconut. You absolutely could use a scoop if you like it better, but I like a piping bag. I like piping them because you get nice, even distribution. Next, I am using a gray scoop for a velvet top. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start by plopping a nice ice cream scoop size down on each of my pies. It doesn't have to be neat yet, we'll go in and fix it in a minute. Once we have placed the velvet top on top of each of the pies, I'm going to use an offset spatula to very gently draw the velvet top over the top. We want to make sure that we're covering our custard filling completely. And after we have done that, then we're going to give it a few swooshes to make it look nice and pretty. So it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. Everybody likes a cream pie with a little texture. Now these pies are best served cold. So while they can sit in your bakery case, cream pies are nicest right out of the cooler. So after assembling these, I would just put them right into your refrigerated case to serve. Right after you have swished around that velvet top, we're gonna top it right away with my toasted coconut so that they can all set up together. This is my Bakery Essentials toasted coconut. You can actually buy it pre-toasted, which is awesome because then you don't have to mess around with it in the oven, so it's nice and crispy. And the thing that's really hard about coconut is that it bakes unevenly. So on one tray, like half of it will be burnt and the other half is raw. So if you buy the Bakery Essentials toasted coconut, you never have to worry about that. It's just perfect every time. And look how pretty it looks on my coconut cream pies.